In a world filled with distractions and noise, it's easy to get caught up in illusions, false realities that tell us we should always be doing more, worrying more, or achieving more. Mindfulness, however, is not about escaping life. It's about cutting through the illusions that drain our energy and cause stress. Across different traditions, mindfulness teaches us to focus on the present moment, where clarity and energy are restored. In this video, we'll explore how Christianity, modern business, Buddhism, Taoism, and Native American spirituality use mindfulness to help us regain our willpower and see beyond the illusions that pull us away from what truly matters. The story of Elijah teaches us that even when surrounded by chaos, we can find clarity by tuning into the present. Elijah, fleeing from his enemies and exhausted by fear, became overwhelmed by what seemed like an impossible situation. But God didn't meet him in the noise of the wind or the fire. He spoke in a still, small voice. 1 Kings 19:11-12. This moment shows that sometimes it's not about escaping our challenges, but focusing on the present to hear God's voice clearly. By being mindful, we learn to see past the illusions of fear and anxiety that cloud our vision. Mindfulness strengthens our willpower by bringing us back to reality, God's reality, and restoring our energy to face the journey ahead. Mark Benioff, CEO of Salesforce, practices mindfulness to remain focused on what truly matters in the fast-paced corporate world. With constant emails, notifications, and deadlines, it's easy to become overwhelmed by a false sense of urgency, an illusion that tells us we must be everywhere at once. Benioff's mindfulness practice cuts through this noise, allowing him to focus on the present moment and make better decisions. By sharpening his willpower through mindfulness, he resists being pulled into the endless cycle of busyness. Instead, he brings clarity to his work by staying rooted in the present, seeing beyond the distractions, and focusing on meaningful goals. In Buddhism, mindfulness is key to cutting through the illusions of the mind that create suffering. The Buddha taught that much of our pain comes from being trapped in thoughts about the past or future, instead of being fully present. When we practice mindfulness, we develop the willpower to break free from these mental illusions and anchor ourselves in the reality of the present. Whether it's through mindful breathing or meditation, Buddhists strengthen their ability to see clearly, regaining the energy that is often drained by anxious thoughts. By focusing on the here and now, Buddhists find peace and clarity, cutting through the false realities that distract us from inner calm. Taoism teaches the importance of living in harmony with the flow of natural life. Mindfulness in Taoism isn't about controlling life's events, but about letting go of the illusions of control and surrendering to the present moment. Taoists believe that many of our struggles come from trying to impose our will on life, rather than moving with it. By practicing mindfulness, Taoists cultivate the willpower to cut through the illusion that we can control every outcome. Instead, trusting in the flow of the Tao, this presence restores energy and allows them to live with greater ease and clarity, without being distracted by what might happen tomorrow or what happened yesterday. In Native American traditions, mindfulness often involves reconnecting with nature to cut through the noise of modern life. This isn't about stepping away from responsibilities, but about grounding oneself in the reality of the natural world, free from the illusions that clutter our minds. A mindful walk through the forest, for instance, allows practitioners to tune into the sounds of nature, the rustling of leaves, the call of birds, and see beyond the distractions of modern life. By returning to the present moment, they build the willpower to stay connected to what is real and let go of the false images and distractions that lead us away from our true selves. Nature becomes a guide for cutting through illusions and regaining focus. Mindfulness helps us build willpower by cutting through the illusions and distractions that keep us from focusing on what truly matters. Across traditions, mindfulness brings us back to the present moment, where energy is restored and clarity is found. By staying grounded in reality and letting go of false images, we can sharpen our focus and face life with renewed strength and purpose.